Welcome back to Wise Up Biz Talk, where they find a business lesson in everything and help you wise up. Let's get started with your hostesses, Em and Kim.
So Emily, I just read this, recently read this article regarding this small business owner, right? So she had this two spa and she would qualify for the PPP money. So, but then, her employee got upset over her receiving the money because they say that they make more money on unemployment than the regular paycheck from her workplace. I mean, if you were in her situation, what would you do?
Well, I mean, as a small business owner, I would be applying for any opportunity I can to keep my business going. Because if my business is going to close, then that job is not going to be available for anybody, even after their unemployment benefits run out. So I would have applied for the loan. And I read the same article, I believe it was in the Federalist, right? And I was kind of shocked to see that people are upset with her and calling her greedy because she wanted to pay for her rent.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't think people understand. Unemployment is paid for by tax dollars. And all these extra incentives on there, so the federal government's offering $600 a week on top of, extra on top of whatever your state unemployment is. So people essentially are making more money now than they were working, which I think is, it's hard to say.
So did you think that the government acted like too quickly on giving out the extra $600 unemployment?
Well, look, I think that there was a sense of urgency because of how quickly businesses and companies were closing down. I think a lot of businesses were forced to close down and couldn't operate. For example, a spa, okay?
Yeah,
so I think that the government had to act quickly, but I think that it's the government. Your left hand should be discussing with your right hand what's going on so you both can accomplish a goal. I think that the intentions were good. I just think that they acted a little quickly without considering how all this was going to work. So now you have small businesses, which we know of one, for example, that has to give the loans back and go ahead and risk losing their business because their employees don't want to return back to work.
So so my sister, she had the same situation as well, so she ran a nail shop. And so she would qualify for $50,000. And then she came back to her employee telling them, hey, look, I got, the money, and thinking that they will congratulate her or maybe feel happy for them or for her, for
like she's looking out for them. Like, hey, I went and did all this work because applying for that loan is not like, let me just go online. Like you have to submit all these documents. You have to go in and show proof. You have to show payroll, which is why business structure matters. And we have a podcast coming up about that too. But the whole thing is, she did this so that she could pay her employees.
Correct. But I mean, in addition to the employee, I mean, the employee should be considered too as well. The owner have other expenses that they need to take care of too, like rent, utilities, other interests.
Well, the thing is though, Kim, when you are an employee of an organization, you go in and you do your job. You're not as invested in the success of that organization. And I'm not saying this as a generalization of every employee out there. That's not true. And I'm not trying to say that as a generalization. But what I am saying is some employees are not as invested in the company because they're not getting anything out of it. They go, they do their job, they get paid for it. It's a transaction. It's a transactional relationship versus a loyalty one or whatever. And I do kind of understand where people are like, well, I'm making more money right now on unemployment than if I go back and work at the spa, which, and by the way, these employers that get this paycheck protection loan,
yes,
when they get that, they can pay their employees without their employees going to work. So spas are closed down. So you're going to just receive this paycheck as if you were working, but at the end of the day, I can also see from an employee's perspective of like, look, I'm unemployed. I need to, cushion my savings. I need to pay off liabilities. But at the end of the day, is it ethical for you to be offered your job back while you're on unemployment and you deny going back and get upset with the owner because you're making more money on unemployment?
Well, I mean, if they turn down the job offer, then they no longer qualify for the unemployment.
And that is where the left hand of the government doesn't talk to the right hand. Because how do they verify that? How does an organization prove that, hey, look, I tried to offer this back or offer their job back, but they didn't accept it? And
Well,
unemployment's not really required. I thought unemployment wasn't requiring you to apply for jobs right now.
no, they're not. But whenever you submit requests for payment, because every 2 weeks you have to go in there and request payments, and they ask you, did your employer offer you your job back? Then you have to answer their questions.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So technically you're lying to the federal government when you say no, they did not. So it is unethical for you to, and if you get caught, there are significant fines and you will have to pay every dollar back, every last dollar back. So, and they will take it from your.
So if we go in, because this is a small business podcast, like a business. So let's say that if a small business listening to us right now, what option should should they go ahead and just take the loan and just don't even worry about whatever the employee is telling them? Or they'll just listen to the employee?
Well, okay, so they have the loan, right? So let's talk about what the loan actually entails, right? So what are the repercussions if all of their employees say, we don't want to return back because we're going to choose to lie on our unemployment application and say we don't have our job back when we were, okay? If that happens, what are the consequences of this loan? So they're offered this loan, they're going to just have to pay it back, right?
They can pay it back, or just accept the loan, because they have other expenses that they need to take care of anyway. So just take care of all your expenses. And if, let's say that, because I think that the employee have to stay on payroll for at least 8 weeks in order for the loan to be forgiven. So if the loan is not forgiven, then you have to pay back, I think the first 6 months to a year, there's no payment. So the payment's deferred.
So that could be, let's just say you were given $20,000, okay? If you pay off your expenses, you have deferred payment for 6 to 12 months, right?
Yes.
But if you can make payments, that's going on principal alone, and you're not having to pay interest on it. So it would incentivize you, like maybe if you're in the type of business where while you're shut down like a spa, you're not making money, but as soon as the shutdown is over, you can start making money again, then you can start putting that towards principal alone. So me, I would take the loan.
Yeah, but the interest rate is so low. Like for example, for my sister, her interest rate is only 1%.
Yeah.
It's really
low. I mean, you can't ask for a better interest rate than that on a small business loan. And honestly, if it were me and I were them, a small business, if you do not have cash in reserves, I don't know, even if you did, I would take the money. I would take the money at the interest rate and use it as a loan to expand your business for when this is over. Use it for marketing, bring in more clients, use it to revamp your automation systems. That's what I would be doing. I would totally take the loan and pay it back. I mean, if you can use this as leverage to increase your business, why wouldn't you?
Yes, I totally agree.
I mean, there's people with credit cards that with 27, 30% interest rates, you don't mind putting money on that every month. Why would you even think twice put money on
like
a loan at 1%? That's better than a mortgage. But going back to it too is because I am aware that we have small business owners that are listeners, but we also have people that have been impacted and are maybe employees. And one other thing that people have to really consider with their unemployment income is that it is income and it is taxable income. And maybe there are employees out there who are making more now than they were before, but you also have to consider what that's going to do and what kind of impact that's going to have on your taxes. So I don't think people are really thinking that far ahead, and it's going to be a rude awakening for some people. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So they're not used to that type of income, and then all of a sudden at the end of the year when they file their taxes, they'll be surprised. Instead of getting a refund back, they might end up having to pay taxes.
Yeah, and so I and that's something that people need to consider. And as a small business owner, when you go to offer these people their income or their jobs back, you can use that to overcome the objection. Say, look, I know you're making more money on unemployment, but number one, I am offering your job back. And I would also do it in writing, to be honest. I would call them and I would follow it up in an email or however you contact them, send them a letter and keep proof of it for yourself so that you can show that you in good faith tried to give these people their job back and they denied. But to overcome that objection, you as an employer can say, look, number one, I'm offering your job back. You have to understand that this will, by me doing this, you are no longer eligible for unemployment.
Yes, correct.
But it is up to you how you want to fill out your questions, right? And then the other thing is also because of this, you may be pushed into a higher tax bracket that you're not used to being in, and you're going to have to pay because unemployment is considered taxable income, which also, because we're in health insurance, if you are making more money now on unemployment, you better go in and update your application on healthcare.gov.
You have a surprise tax liability at the end of the year.
If you're getting a premium credit. So, and that works on the other side of it too. If you've had a reduction in your income and you applied for a tax credit and maybe did not receive any or didn't receive as much, you can go and adjust your income at any time of the year to see if you qualify for help with your premium credit. But we digress, right? That's our side of the business. But what would you do, Kim? I mean, I would take the loan at the 1%. I would use it to leverage that money to leverage opportunities. What would you do with it?
The same. I mean, if the interest rate is only 1%, why not? Take it to expand your business or improve your business. Yeah. And then if you're tight on cash flow, then use that. We don't know how long this is gonna go, because right now, like in Houston, they're only opening the non-essential for essential worker only.
Yeah.
So it's not fully open 100%. So we don't know how long this is gonna last. And then let's say if they open up, then now you have to, like let's say for my office, right? So now I have to do new layout for the office because of this whole Corona 6 feet gap away from each other. So you can use that money to, I guess, to figure out, what else you need to do or how you're going to change this to get everybody, safely operated, I guess, right? To operate the business safely.
Yes. Like you're having to get your employees the shield, right?
So we're talking about getting the shield, yes, too as well. So I don't know how they're going to look, and then we have to move some furniture around or maybe get smaller furniture or something, so everybody will be feeling safe when they walk into the office.
So I think basically we want to summarize this for our listeners, right? So for those who are on unemployment right now, you need to consider how long unemployment's going to last, how much you're making, and what that's going to do on your taxes. Okay, so that's something to consider. And also when you go to check that box, if you've been offered your job back or not, remember the ethical side of it, right? If you've been offered your job back, you are supposed to answer that question honestly, lawfully, and legally, right? For employers or small businesses, I would take the loan. It's up to you. It depends on what you would like to do, what you feel comfortable with. Again, these are just our opinions. They're not backed by anything. This is just what our opinion is and how we would run our businesses, what we would do. The best way to overcome the unemployment objection is by pointing out the higher tax rate. That could be a possibility. And also that if you technically offer them their job back, they do not qualify for unemployment at that point. So with that being said, good luck. Post in comments. Let us know how you're doing as a business. We are looking to feature businesses that are adapting to the changes, and we will be posting the ones that we've noticed as we are being quarantined, and we would love to hear from you.
Thank you for joining us today on Wise Up Biz Talk. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and leave a rating. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Wise Up Biz Talk. Please share our episodes on your business page with friends and family so they too can wise up. Always a business lesson in everything. See you on the next episode.